Hello and welcome back. Today isn't going to be about Fallen, Project Delta, or any other game. Today is going to be about my own game and the progress that I have done on it. The main reason for me not uploading is that there's no good games to play right now. Project Delta is just lag switcher central, as we're just invalids over and over again. And Fallen is, well, just Fallen, 99% cheaters and zero content. But today I'm going to be showing stuff I've made for my game, as well as some plans I have. I guess here's the tools. It's a sword. It is very bad, I know. And here's a combat knife, the remake of the sword. Just looks a lot better, and overall just nicer, a lot more detail. Now I had two, 30 old models of axes and a pickaxe, but the guy I'm working with got rid of those, I guess, and he replaced them with these way better looking axe and pickaxe, which they look very nice in my opinion. He's way better at modeling than me, and you can tell that the part is made in Blender, not flipping Roblox Studio. But anyways, over here we have the new weapons. These are the untextured versions of them with nothing on them. MP5, PKM, R700, SAR, M4, and AK. But we'll move on to the actual textured versions now. Here was a bow. Nothing too special, just a bow. It will be remade. I forgot to mention this. Everything here will be remade over time into like a better model. For the V1 release, our idea is just to release a game, since we're not trying to go over quality right now. So that's for a couple things, which I'll show you soon. But here's a crossbow. Nothing too special. Here's the saw. As you can see, it's fixed because these models are updated. And it has more better texturing. So that's pretty good. Here is the AK. Has more texturing too. And this thing is right there instead of right here. That's supposed to be. Yeah. Iron Set's also pretty good. It's like the AK. It's a legit trust AK. Import A1 stock. There is a god Import A1, as you can tell. This actually needs to be fixed, but I could fix that later. Yeah, there it is. Import A1. SOCOM. Drip. 100 round mag. It probably would be 75 because 100 round would be 2 OP. And if we're to even like add this, because this is just only a temporary thing. This might be removed for V1. If we even add this, it would probably be an AI boss. Oh, you'd only find it in crates, because I don't think we're going to be able to code an AI boss in approximately is a couple months, because we also have to code everything else. Here's a PKM. Has bullets inside of there. This is the reload animation is gonna be flopping this up, taking this out, taking this down, deleting it, and bringing a new one up, putting it back in, and flopping back down, and then cocking the gun. Here is the revolver. Looks like the rust one because it's probably the best looking thing, like revolver out of anything. This looks very nice. Sword off shotgun. This is one of the newer models. Well, this is the newest gun model actually. MP5, more texturing, bunch more detail. Just looks overall better. And that is all the guns and slash weapons for this V1 release that we've currently planned. We might make another one in the future. Now I guess we'll move on to armor, since it's one of the things, the most made versions of it. Here's the first ever armor I made. Steel armor. Looks very bad. There's legit holes in half of it. Hole right there. Hole right there. You get the point, there's a lot of holes. Helmet probably looks the best because of the least amount of holes. But just the box, so nothing too special. Wooden armor. I'll show them from here instead of there. Nothing too special too. Everything here is remade, by the way. These are V0. This is before the main game's release. Looks like a bandit set kind of chestplate. Looks a little good, I guess. Not that good though. Salvaged armor, as you can tell, is bad. There's a hole right there, hole right there. Supposed to be like a Spartan set, but we didn't even completely remade all of this into some new stuff. I'll show you soon. His leggings, nothing too special. Spartan armor set. Yeah. Over here we have the dragon set. This is currently not planned to make it in the game. What this was supposed to be was like a rare skin of the full steel set, but I decided I'm not gonna make it because it just wouldn't make any sense. Here's the helmet in all its glory. It is currently scrapped, and it's just gonna sit here for a little bit. Here's the Alton first attempt. Nothing too special about it. Looks like a garbage can, I know. Here's it without a visor. Here's its visor. Here's what it looks like on a person. Here's a little bit of an updated version. This part goes down, and this part is a little bit smaller. This part goes a little bit more down, and this part is a little bit smaller, as you can tell. Here's a bit of an updated version. Has more of a hole here compared to this version. And here's the, you know, I can't speak. Here was the template for the scrap dragon armor. I have not gotten rid of it, it's just been sitting here, doing nothing. Here's the full Alton set in all its glory. Here it is. 6B45, Alton, Iola. Probably the best looking armor right now. I spent a lot of time on this one. Here's it without a visor. Here's it with a visor. It's actually a little bit updated compared to here. This is now green. Here's the visor itself. Here's Iola. Here's 6B45. Now this is gonna be the V1 release, besides for the little helmet part, but it's a different texture. Looks a lot more grainy. Just looks better overall. Looks pretty nice. Here we have the ready-made wooden armor. As you can tell, I got significant changes. Make it look better. Now this is also not the V1. V1's right there, which I'll show you in a minute. A lot more just detail and just makes it look better. Here's the full set. Here's the helmet, and here is the helmet updated a little bit with inner wooden pieces. Because it looks stupid as heck. Oh yeah, it sticks through. This is why it's not final. The little head part sticks through on the sides. Here is the V1 release armor set. We kind of went back to the roots. We kind of combined these two helmets into one and made this set. Kind of just copied these leggings too. But I don't really have any ideas for them because it's just leggings. Probably really made it in the future there. Here is wooden armor. Little cracks in it makes it, I don't know about you, but it just makes it look so much better. Like a salvaged wooden chest plate. Just makes it look so much better. Here's the helmet. Completely fits around the head this time. And that's the wooden armor. Here's the remaking of the salvaged armor. I do not like this look, so that's why I'm currently remaking it myself. It is not done yet. This is just placeholder graphics and everything. Helmet's not completely done. Chestplate, I'm still working on it. It's going to still look somewhat like this. And have like the same color and stuff. But it's just going to look better overall. Here's just the set without it being on the noob, the dummy. I don't know why I have two. Oh yeah, this is different pieces and this is the main set. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's the salvaged armor. That's the wooden armor. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you the steel armor over here. This is the steel armor V0.1. This is not going to make it into, well, steel replaced the armor set over there, which I'll show you in a minute. I forgot about that. Here's that. These are just slight changes. This was made before any of this was made and any of this was made. These are remade sets. This is for the V1 release. It's like a armor set for Riot, you know, obviously. Here it is in all its glory. Not much to say about it, it's just armor. But yeah, there's the final armor set for right now. I guess I'll show you these. Here's the building plan for V1. Here's the hammer for V1. Here's the explosives. These were the first iteration of them. And then we made them into a single dynamite, a satchel, and a C4. Well, this was a C4, but this one's so much better, as you can tell. Here's the satchel. And yeah, these are just miscellaneous items. Here is the boxes that you're going to be able to loot. Here's the first version of it. And the reason we don't use this version is because it does that. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And here's the second version, and we also don't use this version because it does this. I don't know why. The third version finally fixes all of that. And there's just a little bit more detail and stuff with it. Here is the military box. Here's the salvage box. Boxes you can loot. This is cancelled. This is not coming in V1. It's in there though, which I'll show you soon. Here's the 0 point. Here's this V0 steel chest plate. Not chest plate. Box. Here is the barrel. Here's the safe. Before I got recolored into this, with just better textures. Here's the food crate. Little candy balls, apples, yeah, nothing too special. But will be remade in the future. Here is a med kit, like box, with all those meds over there which would drop, which I'll show you in a minute. Here's the V1 military crate. This looks better overall, has more detail and stuff. Here's the V1 steel crate, more detail than that and stuff. V1 sleeping bag. Doesn't look like anything special. Here's the V0 doors. These are just placeholders, and then we already made them into this. The wooden door, the salvage door, and the steel door. Which this is going to be able to be opened in the future as a little window. Here is the boxes you can put in your base. Here's the box V0. Looks very bad. Medium box V0. Looks pretty bad too. Has a bunch of missing spots. Here is V1 box. Looks a lot better. A small box. Has more detail and stuff. V1 large box. More detail. So just one brick though. Probably will be remade in the future. I definitely will, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that for V1. Here is the furnaces. Small furnace. That's a hole in the top. This is where I use this is where I learned to put holes in Roblox stuff. So you could have a hole here, hole there, yeah, and we'll have cross hole here. Here's large furnace, which is actually 3 pots. Yeah, it looks pretty good. This is probably one of the newer modders. Pretty new. I made it like a couple of days ago. Looks pretty good though. Has holes in it. Yeah. Probably might not come from V1 because our main idea is to just release the bare minimum and then just pretty quickly actually add on to it. Every week we're planning to do an update. Maybe just 1 new item, maybe 2. And if it's not a new item, it's going to be remastered in an old item. Now onto the resources, I guess. Here are the nodes. Well, before I show you these ones, which look a lot better, here are my version of the nodes. As you can tell, the other guy that's helping me work on this did a lot better job than me. Here are the V0 nodes. Looks pretty bad. These are just placeholders, by the way. Never meant for these to be in the V1. This has a part missing on the bottom, just like every one of these versions. Now, here's building props. Uses 2 buildings I made real quick though. Doesn't have anything too special in it. Just takes a lot of the props and puts them in a way just so we can see what we want to do maybe in the future. Oh yeah, this has old models. Old monitor there, old monitor there. Has the old safe and has this. Over here, nothing in it. Just uses this old doll monitor too. Here's a shelf. We'll just let. I don't know what you call it. I guess a shelf. I don't know. Here's some crates I made just to have detail and monuments. And nothing too special. Here's a wooden crate. Here's a steel crate for more detail. Just a 3D skin of this, pretty much. Here's a table, a chair, which for some reason moves like this, probably because it's tilted. Here's a shelf, like grocery store shelf. You can put food crates on this and stuff. Here's a PC setup. Currently, you're not planning to use this for anything. Maybe you loot this for circuit boards to make the C4, but currently you don't use this for anything. Here are container crates, just used for detail and pull stuff in monuments to make them a lot more vibrant than like V1 or V2 Trident places, because they had like no detail on them at all. Here's the open versions of each. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, we have one more thing to show you. Anyways, that's everything we've made so far, but I want to reload a couple of things since this is actually recorded a couple of days ago, because I wanted to delete all the old props and other stuff. But one, the set release date is somewhere near the end of the year, maybe earlier, maybe longer, no set time yet. Two, I am completely brand new to game development, so yes, I make my stuff in Roblox Studio, but I'm going to be improving the game over time. 3, there is going to be only 2 of us working on the game, so updates might be a little bit delayed, but we'll try not to announce anything that we can't 100% promise that week, unlike Fallen. 4, kind of a continuation of 2. As we improve the game over time and over again, we're going to be making the game better and better. The current plan is for 4 updates per month or 1 per week. Might not be anything huge, but we're going to try to improve / add 2 new things every week. Or just a bunch of bug fixes / changes and rebalances. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed.